Yeah. It's Monday. Oh, I don't know the date. I have no idea. We won't be talking about the date. But I thought I'd walk around in the yard. It never really looks the same in a camera, I don't think, as it does in person. Anyways, um, here's the patio, if you can call it a patio. I've always wanted to take and tile the step right here. And I have the tiles to do it, but it's kind of awkward in some places where it fits, and then it's just a matter of getting it done. At the time I was really sick. I mean, I have a runny nose right now. Yeah. So it could be that I have symptoms, but because of I don't know, my immune system, it's just an expression of me doing its job. So it's hard to say. I don't know if you understand that. You know, your immune system goes into action and other things have to get shut down because of because of the situation, I guess. Anyways, I am really, really stoned this morning. I don't know if I took 20 milligrams edible, and suddenly it's hitting me kind of really hard right now. So I thought I'd walk around. I have the water running in the front, so these are all the little plants that are doing good, and I had some seedlings that I tried, forget-me-nots that I've never grown before, and they're still thriving, but they're not growing. Oh no. So the glads that I put in this bed are coming up really strong, as you can see. This is a Shasta daisy right there, and right here is a dahlia, but I'm going to put another two dahlias right there in the front. So that'd be nice. I put a lot of bone meal on those, so they should bloom. The poppies look really nice. In the front they look nice too. I'll jump out there and we'll clip the video. But that looks very nice. And this is down here in the bottom, just coming out in a circle all the way around. See, it's in a circle all the way around. Even comes up underneath that. Oh God, my brain is not working. Larkspur. But this right here is that dwarf ruella, and it doesn't seem to produce the seed that the tall ruella does. It's the same bloom, but it divides very easily. And so now from one plant I have all these plants circling this apple, and this apple had trouble waking up, but there was so much mulch around it. But now that I've removed it, it's starting to green up. But this part has the strongest buds I've ever seen. Almost, just dormant buds. So I don't know. Will he wake up? I don't know. Maybe his name is Willie. Willie, wake up. Yeah, that's his name, Willie. What's going on out there? I just heard a siren. They got caught. The grapes are coming out nice. I am so lightheaded. If I just pass out while I'm filming, it's okay. You won't ever know. I guess we won't ever load it then. Who's to load the video, right? And this is some chocolate flower right there. That's pretty neat. Huh. That car sounded weird to me. So even my ears are playing tricks on me. Yeah, I'm having one of those dizzy days, where everything starts going whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah. Look at how strange that we have the apple tree. We have a little pear. See him in the light? And then there's another pear, but he's so dark. Plus he's in the shade. You can't really tell he's there next to the tumbler. So we had another blowout on the wall. Oh, there goes Tony. Tony's going to come visit. He used to be such a pest when I first moved here. Now he's just a good cat. He is a good cat. He pays attention. Hey, Tony. What's going on? Yeah, you're sweet. So let's look at this tree over here. We'll walk around. So I got a really good blister on my finger. A cherry of a blister. I was digging over there and making a new bed for my squash. And I have to finish, I'm still breaking through to the mulch, see? So as I go chomp, 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 all this is just nothing but beautiful, beautiful compost, mulch, compost, whatever you call it. And so we had a blowout here on the wall, but you can't see it on the other side. But now you can see all the cracks. So this whole wall is being supported by my fence. It's going to fall at any moment. Thank God the dogs are elderly. So, see how dark he is? Yeah, he's just so dark. Even his shade of color, he puts a blush of some sort of purplish, reddish blush. I don't know why they turn their leaves so often. They do a good flush out of good leaves, and then they do these. Bleh. Must be something that's hitting them, or it's the sun. Yeah. Ooh, look at all that hair. Oh, that's from, who's that from? Jeff? Oh, that's Jeff's hair. Looks like an old lady's hair. That's weird. So we had another blowout on the wall, way out there on the end. I'll have to show it to you. Kid didn't even see it, but it's on the outside of the wall. It's no wonder. So I was hoping that the dahlias that were surrounding these two tree trunks, right here and right here, I thought they would be coming up. But I don't see no sign of them. Everybody else has been coming up. This is a cold area. Oh, maybe there's one. Oh, there's one right there. I'll have to get him out of there. I'm gonna cut these beds open and put the baby apple trees right here. 2 apple trees right here. Yep, they'll complement. Oh, here comes Oli. There's a white cat coming in. His name is Oli. We'll see him in a minute, I guess. So you can see how massive. This is just this season's stuff. But I couldn't put it here because it's all filled. So now I need to get to burning, springtime burning. Now that it feels like summer. So this pot is just full of compost, and I don't know what I was doing with it last year, but these are just some seeds that came up on their own. And so it's larkspur, and then those big peony poppies. I call them the purple dragon. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out all this Swiss chard. It's going to seed now, but I'm gonna cut this out and put some cosmos in. So this is the little baby red bud, and he looks really cute. Yeah, he does. He's putting on nice blue leaves. It's got strong shape. I try not to touch him. They're very sensitive. They like to be under the canopy of other trees as they begin their life, but he gets full sun here, but then he starts to get shade in the afternoon right here. So the apricot takes care of that. Now look at the infiltration of all the plantain under here. Can you see that? It looks like hosta, but it grows those spikes. But I'd rather the iris take over. See, the iris is spreading. So I need to pop these guys out of here. And even though it looks so cute, it looks so bushy, it looks so green, it's just that they're choking everything. Here's my stand of jujube. There's one. I don't know if I can line it up correctly. One, and then two. This is a double on one trunk, and then three, the big one. So it's almost a wall, straight wall. And I seen jujube planted, and they almost similarly grow like an apple tree, but these guys grow straight and tall, and not with a whole lot of branching outward. I mean, just little minimal branching outward, but straight and tall. So they make kind of a wall. It's very interesting. Yeah, it is very interesting behavior. It could be utilized, as a fence or a barrier. And inside here, even those tall weeds, I need to weed whack. There's some, oh God, I can't even think of the name now. Huh, how interesting. That's weird. Oh well, I'm stoned. There's a little hollyhock. Anyways, these are youngster cherries. These are Nankin cherries. And there's two of them. There's one here. And look at how healthy the sprouts are coming out. It really likes the spots. We'll leave them here. And there's baby pomegranate. And he put off 2 blooms last year and made 2 fruit. And he put off 2 blooms this year. He's gonna make 2 fruit. He's cute. Oh, maybe there's another fruit set down there. Maybe. Everything's thorny here. You have to be careful because everything wants to throw thorns. And I never did get rid of all of this silly stuff, this Virginia creeper. And look, you can already tell it's being hit with whitefly. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to start spraying this because they'll eventually just start spreading to other plants. This is a carrier of whitefly. It always has been. That's why I removed it from over there. After spending so much time, and I hinted to Jeff, not hinted, but I told him that we need to get some honeysuckle on the fence, and it would incorporate itself as the fence, and then it's protected. Here's Odie. Odie, what are you doing, honey? You are like a spirit cat. You're a spirit cat, yes you are. So you hide, yeah. Yeah, you're like a little white spirit cat. He lives underneath Rosie's house. He lived there as Rosie was there, and she died several years ago. And yeah, he continued to live under the house, and he comes over for dinner. And now he just discovered the backyard. Yeah, they're all taking liberty now. So you saw that I did my tomatoes in the center there. And I guess this is a long video, I don't know. What are y'all doing? So the apricots are dropping, I don't know why. It could be the birds that are knocking them off, but they're turning yellowish. So something happened. We didn't get a cold enough winter, I don't think, for the apricot. But this is full of fruit. It's just not going to be very big. And that one's empty. But look at how it drops all its fruit. Oh, so over here, I'm taking up the curb that was, the man that lived here before, Mr. Gill, he had planting box spaces built up. And you can see the remnant of it under the ground here. And so I'm digging it up and taking it out. And I'm going to replace it with our, just garden bricks so that it looks sweet. Oh, that little kitty sneezed. But I turned this bed, and no, it doesn't hardly look like it's much to do. But it's all kind of clay, and I had to beat it with the hatchet. Just slam it with the hatchet to break apart. First I dug it in big chunks, so I went down deep. And here's a little baby apricot that was sitting there, and I said I'd just go around it, and I did. And look, he managed okay, so he can stay there. A little round of apricot, it could just fill in right here nicely, short. So now that this bed is deeply cleaned out of weeds and stuff, even though the rye always throws the seeds, there'll be rye, there'll be seedlings. But we got it down, and now it can be planted once I put mulch in. And so it's going to lift up a little bit more. So as it's lifting up by putting mulch, I'll be placing those stones, these little humpy stones, all the way around. And here is where the concrete begins again, right there. So that's what's left to come up, because I got this much out here. Yeah, so I got this big old chunk. So now I have to find either a use for it or get it thrown away somehow. So this is going to be my bean bed in the center. It's going to get most of the sun in during the day, this area. And I got to clear this out. This is my garlic, and it's already done. And it failed because it's only the grocery store garlic. I should order real garlic. And so this bed is turned, but it still has the little weeds there left over the pimpernel and some of the larkspur and poppy. But it needs to be given nutrition. But you can see the old, and I'm going a little bit farther out from the old, see? Just to take the concrete up, but to clean it up. So it's actually, the bed's actually become wider. When I'm done, the bed will be wider. And then this one will be smaller, because I'm not going to really contend with these concretes just yet. Not yet. Because see, it actually goes under that hill. Because I didn't know what all this hill became a hill because I didn't know what to do with the excess soil. When I dug up for a tree there, I planted a tree that failed, and I planted several other trees that failed. And then, of course, the apple. And when you dig it up, you have all this excess soil. And I'm constantly trying to figure out what to do with it. So I made this mound. So that since it's depressed and it gets flooded, that it's actually deep root watering the pecan, because it's within the drip line of the pecan. See, it's this whole basin. And so I fill it with water, and normally I have it planted. I've done tomatoes in here, I've done everything in here. But now it's kind of exhausted, so I'm adding more soil. I gotta get the grass out right there. Dig it all out. It's my little grave. Yeah. And what I'm gonna do this year is, once the rose is done, is I'm gonna take it down to its core. Not core, but within reason. Take it down, boom, heavily. And I can clean around it and then let it regrow. I mean, it never really looks good on this side, the north side of the plant. It always looks pretty on the south side of the plant. So it was always meant to be facing this way. See what I mean? Yeah, it looks much prettier this way. Even though I think the foliage is kind of dwarfed, probably because of nutrition. I don't know why. Clay always, and everything else that lives in it, always takes the nutrition out, even though there's evidence that things do grow. Like, look at the size of these zebrinas. I mean, they're unbelievably big. They look pretty too. I have them in the front yard. They just come up where they come up. There's the dahlia that I want to move, and there's the dahlia that I want to move. And we'll just leave that coreopsis there. And the rest of that is just filling with baby marigolds, so I'll let those grow. Now, nothing took to this. I tried growing that Thumbergia vine, that Black Eye Susan vine, and it wouldn't touch it. I don't know if it's electrified or if it needs to be grounded or something, because it's metal. But this is what those grapes over there are growing on, which seem to be fine. So I might use this with the bean pole, you know, with the bean, yeah, with the bean bed, the bean bed, bean bed. So, the little pine tree looks so cute. This whole structure is leaning. I don't know if you can tell. It's all leaning forward. We'll look over here. I've got to fix it or it'll fall on someone. Me. See, it's all leaning. So I have to take the tivas on the top are just loosely set. And see, they're not even connected back there. They're just like on the edge. Yeah, I just put them on the edge. Nothing really messes with it. And so it could just fall on its own, you know. I just need to take them off and straighten it up, dig it down and pull it over. Yeah, that's what I got to do. So here's the lantana, growing good. I left some of the old connected to the fence because I didn't know how far it would be able to produce from its core, but you can see it wasn't too much farther down. But it's coming out and it's blooming already. Over here in the dank, in the dark. In the dank, dark. So it'll start blooming. You can see it's going to start blooming everywhere. And I'll just leave that. It's just going to grow up through it. It's going to get so huge. This gets very, 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 very big. And this one went to seed, but I'm going to let it seed because we'll gather that. And I let this fall because it did, because of the sunflowers. And I'm trying to keep the sunflowers out. No sunflowers this year. Those wild ones that go forever and ever and climb the fence and pull it down. So this thing grew down, and I just left it alone because it's the firecracker, and I thought, well, how interesting it'll look when it's all filled with these red flowers. You know, the tips are all burned back from last year's blooms, but it usually just grows on beyond that, so you don't even notice it. So we'll see. Yeah. See how it comes out. And then, of course, there's that invasive, very highly invasive penstemon that one woman gave me that comes to visit. So, oh look, there's some sunflowers right there in the corner. So I have to pull them up. I have to be mean. I have to be cruel. See, yeah, there's a baby sunflower here too. See all the little babies? Yeah, this is an invasive sunflower. Yep, it is, but it's not too hard to get rid of them when they're young. When they're older, you have to chop them down like a tree. So anyways, this invasive, you can see this invasive penstemon, but nothing else grows over here, so why not leave it alone? The only thing is I want to make sure that it can grow amongst other things. And see, here we have the tall ruella, and then the penstemon behind it that has taken over. And there's some tall ruella there. And so the ruella is pushing itself outside of the barrier of the brick in order to survive. Because that invasive, look at how thick it is. All the way down. It's kind of interesting how it took over. Now this is a globe mallow right there and right here. It's the same color, and this one's blooming. Can you see that? I don't know, it might be too bright. Need a dark background in order to catch how pretty it is. So it's a pink globe mallow. Yeah, it's so pretty. Yeah, it is. So it gets kind of tall in the summer, and I have to cut it back. but it is a pretty color. That's why I let it grow. My hat is hitting the tree. That's what that sound was, see? Yeah, scare the neighbors. So I'm baking chicken too, so I guess I shouldn't pass out if I get too lightheaded. Now this has got to be fixed somehow. It's either removed and let the tree be on the surface of the ground, even though I like to have a furrow for deep watering, because pecans like to have their feet wet, when they're watered down. So they like a flooded environment. But he could reach a lot of places that are providing water, which is nice. So of all those, plants that I took from the florist, here we have some carnations. This one's going to bloom, and then there's one down there that I planted, and there's another. It's part of his body there. Yeah, because they grow long. Look, there's that silly plant again. Yeah, that Virginia creeper. I have to cut it out because of the silly white flies that it attracts. I don't know why. It just makes no sense. So the bed looks more clean this way when you look at it. Yeah, nice and clean. I mean, it's a little choppy on this edge because I got to clean it up with that concrete removed. Then it'll be squared up, and then we can put in those bricks. It'll look much nicer. And then with all the new mulch, it should become a very, very productive bed. If it doesn't, well, something's wrong. I love the hollyhocks. From the distance, it looks so pretty. In camera, I don't know if it catches all the nuances of it. The pink down here, the very light pink, and then to the darker pink. There's a lighter pink in the center there. It's very pretty. It's dwarfed and it bloomed early because I guess of the concrete it's next to. Yeah, that's what I imagine. See, here's that invasive and highly invasive penstemon that's taken over where there's iris, and you can see the iris needs more light, and the iris likes to have the rhizomes heated up with the sun. It likes to have its rhizomes exposed. Now I like this little line of zebrinos, but they're not taking any farther than this. They're sort of dwarfed out too, which is kind of cool, but I don't know why. So it could be that this tree is drawing too much water away, but everything looks kind of healthy. It's hard to tell. And there's a iris here that wants to bloom. And you can barely see any of its leaf structure. And there's a spike coming up. And didn't get as tall as last year. They were really tall and reaching out. So I think I need to remove that penstemon. What do you think? So we have some little apple trees, gala apples. I'm starting gala apples. There's a cute little lineup. Yeah, they'll be blooming even more profusely once the heat sets in. Yeah, there's a little baby pink one in there, and there's another red one in there. So that looks nice. These are the trees that I need to plant. The apple trees. He looks very, very pretty. I don't know why he's carrying fall color. Probably because of the nutrition. He needs more nutrition. Yeah. So anyways, sorry to be just kind of jumping around. It's just me. I pulled up a youngster of a mesquite, and he didn't like that, so his leaves went crispy. And I had to move this one and repot it because it just got scorched. Here's my little seedlings, and nothing's showing up, well, except for today. It was some sign, there's some sign right there. I don't know what that is. I have to wait. I plant them knowing that they're separate, that this is separate to that, to separate. You can see there's a gap between there and there. So they're different plants, but I won't recognize them until they pop their heads up because I don't put labels. Oh, and here's the wisteria that I had to repot too. And he turned awfully yellow, and now you can see he's pulling a little bit more green in, so that's what he needs. I don't know what happened, but the soil they were in was hard as a rock, and it was just total clay. So it must have been whatever I had at the time that I could give them to grow in. Now I have to be more careful. So today I'm watering out there, and then I'll get these glads here planted in a pot out there, I think. Either that or in the ground, I don't know which. This is going to be cucumbers. So I did cucumbers, they'll be popping up soon. But they're planted all the way around here, 6 of them. I think maybe a little bit more. And then in the center, we have cosmos. So they should pop up. And then I did some other seedlings here, but I can't remember what they are. And right there too. So when they show up. And then we have little seedlings that are growing, and they look like they need water. And one went damp. He went damp. Yep. He went cold the other morning. We got too cold. But these are some zinnia, the cactus type zinnia. And here's some marigolds. And oh, how cute! We got a little flower. And we have a willow. He's the only one that survived from last year. You know, I don't know what happened to them. And then down here some squash. Yeah. And oh, that one's just finally starting to push up out of the. I could tell it's pushing up. I could see it. Now I put some cleome over there. I remember I planted cleome and those back there. They're very dry. I need to water them. Shame on me. But they get dry fast around here. So the rose looks pretty back there, throwing off its pink so tall and high. That's what it wants to do. And then he has all this wall of hollyhock in front of him that has yet to bloom. So some of them could be the really dark ones, dark red ones, but some of them will be the light pink. And then I showed you the light pink globe mallow. Well, this is the color of its natural color. So this is the globe mallow. And it's a wild globe mallow. And so I have to cut it back to maintain it because it just gets so tall. But sometimes we're lucky and it gets just the right condition where it'll go into a full bloom while it's at a reasonable size. And I think it's doing that now. So it's just starting to bloom. And it's this orange, beautiful orange. And it should just completely fill with orange flowers. And so it's just starting. And it should be a good display. And then if not, then it just gets chopped back down, chink, for it to regrow. Because it's, and then of course there's the Jerusalem artichokes. These are Jerusalem artichokes. And these get tall too, so it's going to fill up this whole area. Is going to be impenetrable. You can't get back here. And there's my baby mimosa. And he's so cute. He's just a baby. He is. And so this metal is the same as that metal over there. And it seems the grape has no problem growing on it. Over there, nothing wants to touch it. I never could get anything to vine on it. So here's that perennial seed pack that was filled with annual. Well, I did get some that seemed to be like a biennial, but they grow back and they do this wonderful thing. And I think it's a form of a dianthus. So I think it's what they call Sweet William. Yeah, I think so. And here's one here. And here's one here. So that pink is so pretty. They may be other colors. And then here are all the Rudbeckias. You see the fuzzy Rudbeckia. Here's some calendula. Here's some more of that. I think that's what it is. No, this is something different. This is different than this. This right here. I think this is different. This is different than this. I don't know what it is. And then there's these big fuzzies. I have no idea what they are, but it looks like they're going to crown out. So I had to remove two big ones because I thought they were just weeds. And I shouldn't have thought that. But these are just like them, so we'll find out what they are. I think it could be a yellow primrose, you know, wild primrose. Those get huge. And of course yarrow, that's what the plant was over there that I couldn't remember the name. And I can't tell yet if it's going to be white, but I believe it is, because that's all they ever do give you seeds for is white. And never any other colors. And then I don't know what all these little things are. And this is like a flax. I think this is like a flax. Yeah, look at that calendula. Looks really pretty. And then a bunch of baby calendulas right there. So reseeded from last year. Yeah. How interesting. You know, I said that I'd just remove, you know, grow perennials in here as a nursery bed, and then just pop them out and put them around the yard. But this isn't anything that I would want in the yard. And besides, I think these guys would just kind of croak if I tried to move them. So it's better to just wait till they seed out and introduce the seed to the ground somewhere else. I guess so. And then I have my avocados stuck down here, and they're filled with portulaca, but I had to put them in a place where there's hardly any sun, so they can acclimate, because they were under grow lights indoors. And this one's still poking his head up as like a spike. See that spike? It's not, maybe they do need a little bit more sun. Yeah, they do, because that new growth doesn't look like it's really taking very well. It probably does. Maybe start introducing them with a little bit more sun. But they're in such tiny pots that the last thing I want them to do is to dry out. So I guess if I move them out, I need to move them, put them in new pots. Yeah, we got spider webs all over them already. Yeah. More sun. And not be, you know, just monitor them. Find a place. I wanted to always finish this bed, but I stopped right here. And then I put a pile of dirt here. It's a big pile of dirt. It was supposed to go in here to fill it up, to raise it up. This is my well. If we were to open this, it's like 15, 20 feet down. And it's all cinder block. And when they did the landscaping, I guess the tractor was doing the pushing and everything, and they busted out the sidewall over here. But down there is a little pipe that goes to nowhere. So it needs a pump. Yeah, a little wall of Sabrinas looks so pretty. The little Sabrinas, they do whatever they want to do. They come up wherever they want to come up. And then when they do, and then they're gone. My Aunt Muriel gave me these seeds years and years ago. And this is the same plant coming from those seeds. Generations and generations beyond. I never got to meet her, I only got to talk to her online. Yeah, how interesting. So I guess I showed you everything here. Oh, well, we have California poppies that are growing amongst all the weeds, because I haven't wanted to pull them out. And I didn't want all the glads, you know, I've been trying to take up the glads, and these are babies from babies, because I took them up before. And here's some lamb's ear. You can see that the weeds taken over. This is lamb's ear. But we have this lily here, and there was another one here that got choked out. There he is, right there. See if he's in the sun. There's supposed to be another third one over there. I went back to the dollar store to see if they had spring bulbs again, and they did. They had the same ones, and they were all dried out. Every bit of it. There wasn't anything worth touching. Yeah, I just got to pull the weeds, and then eventually these little miniature cannas are going to start blooming. The little yellows. Look at the height of my baby oak trees. Yeah, see. They look pretty good. They're, you know, I planted them so, I'm going to fall if I keep walking backwards. I planted them so that they can block the apartment. So eventually they'll touch, become one big canopy. Yeah, that looks nice. Shasta daisies look really, really robust, don't they? Yeah, it's a nice clump. Now see, I should be able to grow everything in that same manner. Like there should be something here clumped up and over there clumped up, filling the whole thing. Preventing the cat from coming up and scratching the bark. As you can see, they do that. This one too, they did it a lot. How nice. These are seedlings that I took from the park. You know, I took the acorns from the park. These are bur oak. Yeah, I always thought this one was different, but it produces the same seed, just has a different leaf structure than this one. How interesting. But they're both bur oaks. I guess the bur oak is part of the white oak family. Yeah. They really put on height. I couldn't imagine if I had started, you know, bunches of them. By now they'd be in pots. It's like, good Lord, how could you even move them? You know, because I'm a terrible salesman. I just end up keeping them. Can't sell nothing. So I have a batch of daffodils that need to go in the ground, and I'm going to put them right here in the corner. And remember that they're there, so you know they'll be on the other side of the brick that gets put. But yeah, so I can get that yellow to start pulling towards the house. So we have daffodils over there, daffodils around the tree, and then now daffodils over here. And a little clump. And then, yeah, I don't think it's too harsh over here yet. We need more shade. Yeah, we do. It already feels like summer. I know it's probably only like in the 70s, but the sun is just so hot. So let's clip out. Yeah, I'm going to stop the video, and then I'll start another one and we'll clip it together because I have clipping to do anyways. This old guy is hot. Okay, we'll go and look in the front. All right. Okay. Well, just clip it together, I guess. I managed to do that the last time. So here's the front. The top of this tree is finally dying back. You can't see it from this direction, but you can definitely tell it was poisoned. So I've been flooding this area, and the grasses really show the difference. And of course we have finally a remnant of what was. I used to have a Spanish broom right here that should have survived and filled this spot, so much so that no one could ever come through. And then of course it was poisoned and killed by the next door neighbors, and because it's a lagoon, and it's seeded, and the seeds have managed to move themselves this way because they were right here last year, and now they're right here. And the thing is that they shouldn't die back like that. No, not at all. They should become huge bushes for years. And then of course you can see the Maximilian, which were over there, have pushed themselves this far, probably from seed, not from root. And there's only one remnant left there. And my poor little pinon pine died, couldn't withstand the poison that they were doing. It's just sad. I know it's coming from them. And of course you can see it's a little drier this way. And my rose cutting is still hanging in there. It hasn't started blooming yet, but it will. I need to clear the grass away. give it more sunlight. And of course the spreading, well, here's the new generation of grass coming up, you can see. And then this old stuff will just wither away. But this poppy looks pretty dramatic. Yeah, that's very nice. Shirley. It's a Shirley. Shirley must. Next to the blue. Yeah, it's funny how they all took to the edge of the concrete where it holds the water. See? I know she's gonna bark the whole time in there. So the bachelor buttons came out really strong this year, everywhere. No little red ones, but mostly pink and purple. Now this looks pretty dramatic, not from this direction, but from the front. And here's a cute little setting. We'll have larkspur with poppies. Now from the front, this Zebrina really did something else. Look at that. Can you see all that purple in there? Yeah, undergrowth purple. Yeah, it's so pretty. And just dramatic. Yeah, just dramatic. And it won't be when it's done. It'll be a lot of cleanup. But you can see that the ice plant has taken all the way down, which looks really nice. And this is the great survivor of the city trees, the city shitty trees. Yeah, so this is a silver lace vine here. And as we walk down, you can see the ice plant. It looks really pretty. This was planted sooner because, you know, it takes so long to do things. And then I planted that later, and it's a little bit smaller. But look at the bachelor buttons around this whatchamajigger tree, Palo Verde. Now, I don't know why it froze back, but it's coming from the base, see? So it's going to grow new branches. I would have liked to have had it much taller, but from those I can train it as branches, so it's without leaves. So. And the wall's leaking right now because I flooded the bed. But it's so pretty. It's very reflective. They're not even open yet. They're just barely open. By the midday, they'll be fully open, exposing themselves. So this willow's having trouble. I mean, he still emerged, but he stopped. It's like he stopped growing. And look at the alyssum, sweet alyssum. Doesn't seem to be doing anything either, like it is over there. I don't know what's going on here. I need to supplement or something. Little Shirley poppy. They're so sweet. They don't bother anybody. Look at this one's dramatic. Yeah, this is really dramatic. Isn't that pretty? Yeah. Next to his sister. Now we have a little palm tree that I planted out here. Mexican, California palm, whatever you call it, Mexican palm. And he's finally starting to emerge from the center. Yeah, so he'll put it on a whole new shoot. And he knows that he's being crowded, so he should push himself really harsh to get him going. But look at that Sabrina with larkspur. I'm trying to put my shadow in there. So pretty. So anyways, we had a blowout. I don't know when. Right here in the corner. But I'll show you. You know, you can see this is all fragmented. A lot of the cement on the top I put in there, and I pasted stuff in there to hold it together because at one time it looked really shallow, like it was going to collapse. And it is. It's all shallow, but you can only go so far before you finally say to yourself, I'm not a masonry person. I'm not going to be sitting here doing this. But oh, you better be careful. So he's on the blowout. And you can see there's the blowout right there. It's all hollow. And thankfully, this bush is kind of covering it up so no one notices. See something? No one notices that there's a blowout in the corner. The whole wall is fragmented. I don't know what to do. Jeff's gonna have to come up with something. You know, I don't know. To get a brand new wall put in? God, that must be an arm and a leg. I cannot imagine. And I mean, the rock is here. So all they have to do is just tear it apart and separate the rock from the cement, which is just falling apart, and then restructure the wall utilizing the rock. And if they don't utilize the rock, then pile it up and I'll utilize it in the backyard. Actually, that's what should happen. I should just start tearing the wall apart. That's what my neighbor did over there. He took his whole wall apart. He ended up just placing the rocks around his house. It was decorative. Yeah. So I tried pushing the log over, and it rocks, but it's still locked in with its roots. So it hasn't quite rotted yet. Yeah, so this is mi casa. Or at least this is where I live. It's not my house. I can't do anything with it. No. But it is pretty. It's nice that it's grown over. These bushes were so small when we moved in. The ones in the front, now look at them, they just cover the whole thing. I trimmed today on the arch. I call it the arch because, well, it's going to be an arch. Eventually it'll touch from one side to the other. But it's got a iceberg rose on either side. Yeah, it looks very nice. I want to put some of the agaves out here, like one right here and two over there in the center. Yeah, I think so. Because I like the purple effect that they give. My neighbor's rose bloomed. I don't want to point my camera over there though. I don't want them to freak out. He's filming us. I mean, no, they're not that kind of people. They're friendly, but their rose looks so nice. They have two roses. They have a peach colored rose in the front and then the red that's wrapped around the turquoise pillar. Yeah, it's so pretty. And I gave them that their willow, desert willow there in the front, and it looks like it's so poor, but this one's so thick. So, and then that one's so poor, and then the other one's so poor, and I don't know what to say about that. And then this sage here is not growing proper. I mean, it has the tips on it, but it doesn't have like it's supposed to, like it does on the side here. See, this is how thick it should be. It should be thick like that, and then look at this. It's almost like it's gonna die back. That's sad. It's been here so long. I'm gonna work on this area here today, planting. I was debating on what to put in the pot. I was gonna put all those those gladiolas in the pot and just forget about them, you know, put them in here and let them grow. But I think I want to pot the cosmos out here and put the glads down here in the ground. So they'll naturalize and they'll shape the bed. And then behind the glads, we'll plant some vine that'll take up on this little trellis here. Isn't that so pretty? It's in bloom right now. Yeah, I don't know if we can see some flowers, maybe on the other side. You can see them up above, but I want to walk up close to them. Oh, they're way up there. There you are. It's never looked so good. And this canna bed back here is just kind of exhausted itself. Look, it's not even growing. It's like we're not even going to grow anymore. We're just going to deplete ourselves. So I don't know. I'm going to dig it out and plant something else. That's a lot of canna. Remember, it was like a wall of canna. Well, where is it? I mean, there's a few shoots, but not what used to be there. See, I don't see anything over here. And there's just like a little sprig and then the little shoots and the sprigs. Yeah, it's just ryegrass is there choking it out, I guess. I don't know if those hoopers are there. I'll have to dig it up. And there was some glads here that just couldn't take. So hopefully they'll take over there. Please take over there. And if you didn't take over here, here's some Sabrinas. And this is a big mass of soapwort. And it's so pretty when it blooms. It's going to start to bloom there in the little creek. I never pulled it up because it's so pretty. But it's pink. It'll turn pink. So anyways, this is the front yard. I hope you enjoyed. Alright, talk to you soon. Bye. I still don't know what day it is. I know it's Monday, but I don't know the day. Take care. Bye.